Today in our whiteboard leadership moment, we're going to talk about the ministry pathway, but we're going to add a few things to it. In a previous session, I talked about how every church needs to have a ministry pathway, a clearly defined step-by-step pathway to maturity for the people in your church. And if you don't have that, then people are defaulting to their own definition of maturity, which typically means knowledge of some sort, or perhaps just involvement, but it's so much more than that to mature in Christ. And so what I've got here is the four ideas to come together, to worship God, to grow, to serve, and to go. And so we've got environments with each one of these. So the come environment is the weekend service. The grow environment is the groups, life on life, Proverbs 27:17, as iron sharpens iron, one woman sharpens another. The ministry environment, where they're getting together in teams, whether it's ushers and greeters or Sunday school leaders, or whether it's youth workers or something else, maybe the financial team, and then finally go back into the community and back in the world and make a difference, inviting them to come back. What I've found in most churches is this step from one step to another very often is too large of a step. It's too much of a step for someone to go to the weekend and all of a sudden get involved in groups or get involved in a ministry team. And so I want to address that today. Typically what happens in the church is they have a lot of activities that don't fit into these groups, but any activity that you have that doesn't fit into groups should simply be a mid-sized step or a bridge in between two of these major functions. For example, there's probably some programs in your church that would fit perfectly right here as a stepping stone between the weekend service and small groups. Many churches have things like seminars, maybe Financial Peace University or some other thing that, maybe it's a marriage seminar or a parenting seminar. Maybe it's a membership class, and they should use that class as a bridge to get people from the weekend to groups. So here's how that would go. You have a weekend service and you announce that, hey, if you're interested in knowing more about our church, come to this event or come to this class. You begin talking about that class, but then you point people to the fact the first step is to be in life together with others in groups. And so you push people to that. Unfortunately, a whole lot of people have these bridge events that don't actually lead anywhere. Here's the thing about a bridge. A bridge has a beautiful view, but you don't want to live there. There should be a lot of traffic on that bridge, a lot of movement on that bridge, and so you want to figure out what are the bridge events between the weekend services and groups? What are the bridge events between groups and serving? Sometimes there's a bridge between the weekend and serving. It could be a ministry fair, or perhaps it's some sort of recruitment opportunity. I know one church that does something called the Backstage Pass, where they, on the weekend, see the different ministries of the church, and then they get to choose which one they want to be involved in. I would encourage you to make those bridges as small as possible and as effective as possible. If a bridge lasts a long time, people tend to stay in that bridge and never make it to the next destination. A different example of a bridge between grow and serve is having a requirement of your small groups having a service project, or maybe serving as an usher or a greeter on a weekend and doing that. From serve to go, the difference is ministry inside the church to ministry outside the church. Maybe you'll have groups that you say, hey, we're going to do some sort of community service experiment, or we're going to go on a mission trip together, something like that. Go to come, that would be things like Celebrate Recovery, or some sort of financial seminar, things like that. But anyway, you have to figure out what are the bridges that we can make in between each one of these to make it simpler for the ordinary person to get involved in the ministry and to go on the ministry pathway. I'll say this again. If you have ministries that can't fit in as one of these top four and doesn't fit in as a bridge, it's probably not a ministry you necessarily need in your church. And those ministries, you should consider eliminating them from your process, because the whole goal of this thing is to help people meet, know, and follow Jesus, to help them mature in their faith. And so if the activity you have isn't productive, that's not good for you. You're not looking for activity, you're looking for productivity. You're looking for people to grow in their faith and be equipped to serve and to be sent back out to reach the world with the gospel of Jesus Christ. This has been a Converge Whiteboard Leadership Moment. To learn more about Converge or to join us, check out converge.org.